Greetings from the depths of Casper, Wyoming. What the fuck is up, YouTube? It's your boy, King Cobra. And you should recognize this by now. The wine-making jar. Alright, so we're going to start off with 2 cups of pure granulated cane sugar. We got the funnel. We got our measuring cup. What kind of mead are we going to make for this batch? This is officially the first batch in my new place. Well, I'm glad you asked, fellow YouTubers, because we're making a Skittles mead. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You add sugar to a liquid and you add yeast to that liquid. It converts all the sugar into alcohol, so we're going to give this yeast plenty of sugar to munch out on. 2 cups of sugar. Check. See what's next. Ah, yes. Some honey. Because we're going to make mead, you want to add honey to your wine. Local hive. Rocky Mountain. Raw and unfiltered. Made in the good old US of A. Got a tab. Tear that off. Now we're going to dump all this honey. That's good honey. Into the jar. And we don't want to waste any of that honey, so we're going to take a little bit of cold water from the sink. Let all the excess drain out first. And fill the honey thing up to about there. Put the lid on. And this is just to get the excess off. And we need some Skittles, original Skittles. Will this actually make a Skittles flavored mead? I do not know. I do not know, YouTube. But there's one way to find out. Should we go for another bag? Let's go for another bag. Two family-sized bags of Skittles. Because it's doesn't have any fruit in it, I'm not gonna have to strain it in like 12 days. And then we might need some like liquid to break it down, so we're gonna add some C4 energy drink. This is of course the Skittles flavor. Just go ahead and get the stir. Give that a stir. Oh yeah, that tastes like heavy Skittles flavor. Okay, now we're gonna should we add another one? Let's add another can of our Skittles C4. Now, because I am using a turbo yeast, I do want to leave a little bit of room at the top for it to burp and do its thing. Just a little bit of room at the top. And again, I'm going to sit here and a lot of Skittles in here. They got a little bit more room at the top. And I think these C4 energy drinks, they have like 200 milligrams of caffeine. So this will give our wine a little bit of caffeine punch. That straight tastes just like Skittles. Now before we add our yeast, we're going to be using a turbo yeast that ferments in 48 hours or less. We're going to add 1 black capful of yeast nutrients. One cap going in there. Whoop. And we don't need a whole lot of yeast. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our turbo yeast here and pour a little bit into our container. got all of it. Yeah, I think that's the last of my 48-hour turbo yeast. Hopefully that's enough. That should be enough yeast. A little bit of yeast. See all that sugar at the bottom? We're gonna have to find a way to like dissolve that a bit. Still going? Yeah, we're still going. But can you make a Skittles flavored mead? I think I'm gonna find out the answer to that. You know, I think all that sugar's gonna dissolve anyways. I'm trying to get it as mixed up as I can. That's good enough. Just want to make sure that's all stirred and incorporated. That should make for a tasty wine if it actually does what it's supposed to do. Alright, so I don't have my painter's tape unpacked yet, but I do have tape I can use because there is, normally you wouldn't have to use tape, but there's a crack on the lid. That's the only reason why I do that. And because it doesn't have any fruit in it, I'm not going to have to strain it. Now we add water up to that line right there. Perfect. I lost the cap for the top, so I'm using a water bottle cap. That works. So we shall see, YouTube, if this turns into a Skittles mead. Put my measuring cup up. Put the funnel back in the deal here. I did leave a little bit of room at the top because it's going to foam and ferment. That might have been not enough room, but that's okay. If a little bit gets in the airlock, I'm not worried about it. So we'll stick this one for later in the fridge. Like 3 to 4 cans will do it. Now we need to add some goddamn tape to it. And if your lid don't got a crack in it, then you don't got to worry about this last step. But my lid's got a crack in it, so I got to tape it here. Because duct tape fixes everything, am I right? Now we don't get any air leaks when it's fermenting and doing its thing. And I left that lip right there so I can just tear it off when I'm ready to. Eventually we'll be filtering it. I'm gonna give it about a month to ferment and do its thing. And then in a month or so, I'm going to strain it into a clean jar. But hopefully that will make and turn into a delicious Skittles mead. Mead is basically a honey wine. My Viking ancestors made it. There we go. I'm going to put this in the fermenting closet, or my new one, I should say. And now, YouTube, we wait. Who's that asshole sitting there? There it is. We'll give that a month. Those Skittles will dissolve. And hopefully we have some Skittles flavored mead. But that turbo yeast only takes like 2 weeks to make and ferment into like 20%. But I like to give it 2 more weeks just to be on the safe side.